Okay, Rudy, here's your before and after from face on, right? So what we said is your head is too much over your back foot in the setup. I want it more in the middle of your stance. And then as we start swinging back, we've still got the sway in the hips, right? You can see how your hips still sway over your back foot to get to the top. So here's the model we used, Hunter Mahan. And what I said was, well, there's the centre of his hips. We just want to move our hips just a little bit forward at the top of the swing. So now the centre of his hips is more there on the green dot. Whoops. I'll just put those lines there. So at the top of the swing, you've got all this space next to your right pocket. That's moving your hips forward, you know, an inch, a couple of inches, right? It's not much, it's not much, it's just a little bit more, just a little bit more, just a little closer over your lead foot, right? But the point is they're moving forward, not away.
Correct.
Right? And that's going to be the precursor to coming down and getting more on your left foot and clearing, right? And improving your ball striking. So what we did was we got some sticks on the ground to kind of get us set up a little bit better, right? So straight away now your head's more central. You're not your toes, knees, hips and shoulders are not pointing off to the right because you're a little closed, agreed? And then what we're doing is I'm saying, right, well, you know, we also talked a lot about what this back leg does. You know, if you put a little line there outside your back knee, your right knee, you can see how you're just swaying into that line as well, right? So for me, the right leg isn't functioning properly either, right? So I said, right, well, if your toes turned out a little bit and your knees going out over your toe, when you straight and you're at 1 o'clock, that's 12 o'clock, that's 11 o'clock over there, 12 o'clock is the stick, 6 o'clock is the stick. If you're going out to 1 o'clock there, when you straighten your knee, you're going to be straightening to 7 o'clock over there, because this is 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right? So when you straighten your right knee, your right hip should move back behind you towards 7 o'clock. There you go. Something like that. Now you've overdone it, you've over-exaggerated it. I want you to over-exaggerate it so you understand the feeling, right? You're never going to go in like 10 minutes, you're never going to go what you were doing to that new swing. But if you can start incorporating a bit more of that feeling today and a bit more of that feeling tomorrow and a bit more of that feeling the next day, right? I mean, I showed you the picture of Hogan at the top, right? I mean, his hips are way more towards his lead foot at the top of his swing, which is exactly what you're doing there with your hips, right? So, and here's the other thing with regards to the turn. We said, right, well, you know, you're not quite completing your turns at the top, and it's due to a lack of hip turn, right? There, you can clearly see that. Well, we know this right leg isn't functioning properly, so now once this right leg starts straightening, and the right hip moves back behind you, look how much more hip turn you've got. And you've actually overturned your shoulders, whereas before you weren't turning them enough. Now, if anything, you're overturning them past 90 degrees, right? So that's awesome. I love that. Love that. Yeah. So that's the precursor. That's the start of getting your weight more forward coming down. So the centre of your hips ends up over your lead foot coming down, to get to hit the ball properly every time. Because at the moment there's just too many miss hits, right? Just too many miss hits to be a good player. You're already a good player. You want to be a very good player. So it's these sorts of things that we've got to conceptualize, understand, and then just start gradually keep chipping away at it until it becomes a staple of your golf swing.
Exactly.
But that's miles better. That's brilliant. That's really good. Love that.